Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Vincent Tweten, drummer of Phobophilic. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, caffeinated crew? Today, I'm joined by Vincent, drummer of Phobophilic, our first North Dakota tonight. Anyway, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. Thank you. And yeah, I don't know. North Dakotan, I think is the right. I don't know. Something like that.
I haven't watched Fargo, so I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't either, honestly. It's like at this point, it's like a stubborn thing. Like every time someone meets me when we're on tour or something, they're like, "Oh, Fargo, like the movie." So now it's too late for me. I can't watch it. Yeah, I'm sure it's good. It's a me problem. It's not a problem with the movie.
Right. What you got to do is you basically have to watch it ironically, but then you actually enjoy it. So then you start talking up to people, or you can't admit that you like it. So
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I would like it. I mean, Steve Buscemi is awesome. So yeah, maybe one day, but right now, no.
What's not to like? That's the same. Like when I moved from Georgia to Montreal, all of my friends back home were like, "Oh, Letterkenny." And I was like, yeah, dude, like we're pretty far away from where that happens.
Yeah.
Nobody here really talks like that. And
right.
they're like, well, how do you pronounce it? Is it Quebec? And they're like saying jokes on the show. I'm like I said, I haven't watched the show, but like, I'm sure this is really funny in context.
Right. And now you jerks are making sure I never watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I watched a few episodes because I have friends from kind of close to where the show is supposed to be from.
Sure.
And there are things that are like pretty funny, but I can't say that I've watched it like religiously. You know, I prefer things like Workaholics that are American that I can like really understand globally.
Yeah, respect. Family Guy, real television.
Bob's Burgers, real East Coast comedy.
Real shit. It's exactly like that.
I think that's also just another point of being like a child in a grown-up's body is like, if it's not in cartoon form, I also don't find it as enjoyable. I don't know if you have this problem.
You know, something to it. It really helps you digest whatever commentary they're making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any jokes just seem to hit right home when it's made in a cartoon form. I can't get past it. Yeah,
and it's like a level of you're a little more removed from the material when it's not like really people, but then when they hit the points, you're like, oh shit, it really is like that, huh?
Are you drinking any coffee today?
Actually, yeah. I listened to some episodes of the podcast and was like, I'm gonna feel like a real fool if I'm not drinking something. So there's a local shop here in Fargo, and Fargo, it's like there's quite a few coffee shops, but there's one that kind of stands above them all. It's called Youngblood, and it's the shop that I worked at for a while. My bandmate Aaron, he works there. My girlfriend works there. Like, it's just a homey shop, but it is very much like a very third wave, very like clean, a little industrial looking. Like they have like the La Marzocco that costs more than like a luxury car, and you got the Kurt Weill record spinning. Like, it's good vibes. Yeah, you gotta. But I'm just drinking like just a roast of the day type thing. Yeah.
What were they roasting, or I guess dripping?
What were they dripping? I feel it. I think it's like some South American one, because it's got some nutty and some chocolatey.
Nice.
I'm not like a super coffee like big brain guy, but I can like taste a coffee and be like, okay, that's an African coffee, or
Yeah.
okay, that's probably a South American coffee. You know, it's the limit of my palate. Yeah.
Yeah. We can talk more about because I have some divey questions. Knowing that you worked at a coffee shop for a bit.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So knowing that, we can get a little more in depth than what I would usually do. Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. We'll
see.
We'll test the waters.
All right.
I'm drinking something that is new to me.
Know what you got?
It's a new roaster that's kind of, I don't know if it's new to Montreal. It's from a city that's about 40 minutes outside of Montreal, called Saint Jean sur Richelieu. It took me, and I'm not saying that correctly, but it took me
respect
4 years to be able to say it like that. So it's called Bean et Bonheur, which is also in French. I don't speak French natively or intermediately at all. So
it's wild language.
Yeah, I apologize to anybody. Check the links in the description. How about that? But it's called Cherry Madness. It is a multiple fermentation process, Costa Rica. So it is very cherry forward, I guess. It's got a bit of like a honey sweetness to it. Kind of like a molasses almost, like a little darker than honey, and a lot of cherry. Just really, really good, like black cherry flavor.
Nice. That sounds great. All right.
But yeah, love a good, weird, funky Costa Rican coffee, because it seems like whenever a Costa Rican coffee gets fermented or anaerobic or whatever fancy word you want to use for science, it always tastes great to me. And the Costa Rica honey process stuff is so good always.
That sounds cool. I don't really know anything about that, but that sounds really nice.
Deep dive. Just go for
Deep dive. All right. I'm sold.
Just run into Aaron, run into the shop, Youngbloods.
Yep.
Let me get the honey fermentation bullshit Costa Rica process stuff. And then they'll be like, what happened?
Yeah, they'll be stoked on that. Yeah. But yeah, actually Youngblood also like roasts their own beans and stuff. My good friend Lane, he kind of runs the shop and he roasts the beans there and does a great job. It's more like they never go too dark. Like the darkest they go is kind of a medium, and yeah, it's great. I prefer like a lighter medium roast. You know, you can't beat it.
You don't like drinking like ashtray or like notes of Swisher Sweets?
You know, sometimes I do. It depends on the setting, really. I definitely don't think I'm too good for like just garbage coffee. I think when the moment calls for it, like I'm into that. Like give me the shitty diner coffee. Like if I'm at a diner and the coffee is like amazing, I'm going to be pissed. Like I want, it's a part of the experience. Like you walk into a place, you look around and you know what the coffee is going to taste like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The waitress that's worked there for like 50 years, her name's like Flo or Angie or something.
Oh yeah.
She's not nice, really. She's like just nice enough to get like a good tip. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
She just started being nice to you because now she recognizes that you've been coming around and she's like, all right,
yeah, fine.
You've earned it. You've earned a little bit of my kindness.
She doesn't know the usual yet, but she will.
Yeah. She leaves the whole pot on the table and she used way too much water, but you know what? I'm still drinking it.
It's like Royal Cup completely under extracted. Just tasting cigarettes and tree bark.
Hell yeah. Yeah. See that? I mean, that's what you want though. Yeah. True. I don't know why something's wrong with me. I don't know. But
no, I mean, I definitely vibe with that. Like, whenever we play in like Toronto or something, there's a stop we always make at Denny's because we don't have Denny's in like Quebec or Montreal. So we always stop at Denny's because it's like our American experience for the guys in the band.
Right.
They're like the only place for 150 miles that has country fried steak, which if you haven't had that, anyone listening, you should try it. at least once.
Need it.
But it's that experience. Like it's time and place. You know what I'm saying? Like the coffee is so shit, but sometimes with your Grand Slam, you gotta get an ashy cup of coffee.
Yeah, and if you had like a great cup of coffee paired with that meal, it would just ruin it.
Horrible.
Like it wouldn't work. I don't know why, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
But there's a flip side to this coin. There's you walk into a shop like Say in Brooklyn, you know,
Mhm.
you go into Say and the baristas are super nice and super friendly, but the coffee is also really, really, really good and pretentiously priced. That's not
Hell
what you
yeah.
want. You don't want that. You want the barista to be slightly passive aggressive, kind of rude when you order the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. A little condescending.
exactly. You want a New York experience, right? You want
Yeah.
someone,
Maybe they're wearing like workwear, but it's very clean. Like,
the
they're not
softest
they're
hands
not
you've
doing
ever seen.
construction. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I respect that. I'm not don't get me wrong, I'm the same. I love that shit. It's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what you
Yeah.
want.
The baristas and web designers that wear only Carhartt work in progress. Love them.
Yes. Oh yeah. And hats off to Carhartt. Like they found another lane and they are like killing it. They really leaned into that and now yeah, they are like web designer, digital artist brand now. It's
Yeah.
sick.
Dog, the Stanley Cups. Do you remember when Stanley was
Mm,
like for outdoorsy, campy, like family RV trips?
Stanley Cups.
Yes. Come on. You got to know. So the Stanley Cup is like the old school flip top
Like
thermos thing
the
with the cup on top.
oh yeah. Got you. Yeah.
Okay, but now they have found this new demographic of like TikToky kids and
Yeah.
white moms that make water out of juice,
Right.
and everybody's got these like multicolor Stanley cups. Like I walked into a store the other day and they had Stanley Cup everything. Everything.
Yeah. The
Like,
big like
yeah,
32-ounce and they just drink water out of it like in the office in their like little laptop job. Yeah. Awesome.
there's that, but then there's also like flavored waters. There's like people who mix syrups and stuff into their water and they're like, this is water, but it's like, it's not water. Like, it's clearly
Yeah,
not water.
that's I don't know. I'm kind of a traditionalist in that sense. Like water's good.
It's great.
I like water right out of the tap, right out of the whatever fucked up whatever fluoride and chemicals they put in it. I'll drink tap water like anywhere. And maybe I shouldn't, but
You
we'll
shouldn't.
like play a set and if there's not water bottles or something, I'll just like get my big thing and I'll fill it up with the water in the from the bathroom sink. That's kind of messed up. I shouldn't do that, but I've done it and I lived. I don't know.
What's fucked is when you play a venue that doesn't have cold water in the faucets and then you have to use warm
Oh,
water.
dude. Yeah, that's it. Or you just like are in Europe and cold water is like not real. Like, or cold beer. Like that was the most shocking
Oh
thing to
man.
me. Or like, yeah, I mean, we could really get down this rabbit hole. Or like sparkling water. You go and you're like, okay, these can't all be sparkling water. Like maybe that one is water. Like it's so big. That's got to be just regular water, right? And then you crack open this huge thing and it bubbles and you're like, fuck.
And it's like you can't read the language because you're like
No,
in
yeah.
fucking Norway.
Yeah. And I don't want to be that guy that's gonna ask the very mean gas station clerk if it has bubbles. Cause like, hey, respect I'm I'm a victim of my own I should know better. It's not on them to have to explain it to me. And that's fine. I'm too Midwest to ask for help. I will just suffer through that huge sparkling water and I'll wait for it to like lose some carbonation.
I'll wait a day. I'll wait.
Yeah, I'll just leave it cracked. Yeah.
Yeah, that's man, the sparkling water scenario is so real. And Like,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's funny
Scary.
because you are wearing, I noticed the K-Town Death Fest
Hell yeah.
shirt, or Kill Town, because K-Town is like the hardcore counterpart to that fest.
That sounds, I'll admit, I don't know much about K-Town, but
it's different than K-Hole. It's not the same thing.
Okay,
as
I was
like
gonna say, is this like a ketamine related fest?
No, it is not.
Sounds kind of cool or scary. I don't know.
It may be that Killtown. Maybe it is Killtown. I don't know why I'm calling it K-Town, but Killtown Death Fest, and then there's Killtown Hardcore Fest, I think.
Okay.
But it's the same people in Copenhagen.
Oh, really? Like Daniel? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I was talking to a dude that I met from Sweden who has played, and it's like same venue, same everything.
Sweet.
But yeah, how was your experience doing that? That was crazy.
Oh, it was amazing. Like, so cool. We went out with Ossuary and did like a week and a half, 2 weeks of a tour before the fest, which I'm so thankful we toured before the fest and that we didn't like fly in jet lagged, play this crazy fest and then tour. Like, I would have hated that. I'm glad that we got to like end it with a bang, and I feel like we were like tour tight and ready to play a fest. You know, starting tours with fests is like so cruel. It's just not fair to anyone, really. So that worked out really well. The only thing was, it was just like a crucible of, it was the summer. We're from Fargo, like, we're comfortable in the very cold. Like, I was not prepared for how hot it was and how little it was air conditioned anywhere. Like, definitely like hottest shows I've ever played. We played this like little 50 cap bar that was in somewhere in France, and I just like seriously thought I was going to die. Like, but I don't know. We powered through. What else are you gonna do? Yeah, you're there. It was still a lot of fun. I don't mean to paint it. I'm complaining a little, but I think it's made me tougher for dealing with heat. I think I have more resistance now to that sort of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was it's funny, like I said about the North Dakotans thing, I don't know a lot of people from North Dakota. I've only been to South Dakota and once.
Terrible.
It's not great. And
horrible state.
And it was like in the middle of nowhere too. It was Brookings.
Nice. So, yeah.
I think it's like got a heroin epidemic or something, and I was just there for work. Anyway.
That's just the Midwest, baby. I mean, the opioid epidemic we all got that over here. Yep.
But I was there in the dead of summer, like in June, and it was scorching hot. Yeah,
right.
But I was reading
it's crazy how much it.
Yeah, that usually like North Dakota, I think the median like summer temperature is like 73 degrees.
I mean, the summers get really hot. It's like we have such a flux of seasons. Like, our seasons are like really strong, like what they stereotypically are. Like, we get them here because it's like such a humid heat. Like, I will take like 100 degrees in Arizona over like 80 in Fargo any day. Like, it's so much better. And yeah, I don't know. So, but the thing is, we have air conditioning everywhere. We have like heat everywhere. Like, when it's really cold out, everybody's place is nice and warm. When it's really hot out, everybody cranks that fucking AC. But man, not in Europe. I remember having a conversation with one of the other drummers that I'm forgetting the name of the band, but I was talking to him and I was just like, we were having a couple beers, just bullshitting. And I was like, dude, why? Like, why is there no air conditioning anywhere? Like, and both of us were standing outside, like dripping sweat, like he played and then I played a set. We're both like post set, both drummers, like just like, basically we just stepped out of the shower with our clothes on and he was like, oh, well, we don't really need it. And I was like, brother, like look at us. What do you mean?
The evidence is here.
It's here. The Earth's getting hotter, man. Like, put some fucking AC in there.
They've found a solution. It's called Freon. Okay, you just need it.
Come on. I don't mean to dog on the Europeans. The Europeans are awesome, and I mean, hey, this is literally like the one thing they've figured everything out. Besides that, much better than America. America is a hellhole. So I don't mean to sound unappreciative or like whatever. I've never felt as safe touring too as I did in Europe. Like touring in Europe, I was like, you know, because you hear stuff or you watch like Taken and you're like, oh my God, like there's a crazy like kidnapping ring, you know, yeah. Like I had no idea what to expect, but we get over there and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Everyone is so kind. And I've truly never felt safer touring. Yeah.
I mean, it's just, yeah. I've traveled to Europe. I've never played, but I've traveled quite a bit. Last summer, I went to Copenhagen for a few days as well, which is
awesome.
The most amazing cities in the world.
Oh,
if not,
yeah.
It's like, top
don't
3.
Even get me started.
Be, yeah. Especially if you like fucking food and drink and coffee, that is the
big
place.
Time.
But don't go there. I don't want to hype it up and oversaturate it. So don't go visit Copenhagen. But
yeah, actually don't. We're going to go, but the rest of you maybe stay away.
We'll take the sacrifice and go to Copenhagen.
Yeah. We'll check it out.
But yeah, definitely like in Montreal, we have like one of the best transit systems in North America. Like it's incredible.
Oh yeah. Really, well, I mean, your competition with the US is like garbage. Not even close. So
maybe DC. DC is like
right. Yeah.
decent.
Some of the East Coast there's some arguments, but anyway, sorry, go on.
Yeah. The metro here is very much like European minded. It's still not even great by European standards because you basically have to take buses most anywhere you want to go. But our metro system is great. It's pretty clean. It runs timely, like it's good. I took the metro in Copenhagen, and that was a mind-altering experience. It was like every car is like 3 cars long. It costs less, and it has a car come every 1.5 minutes. And it was the clean. Like I feel like I could have like spilled a drink on the floor and licked it up. It was so clean.
Yeah, seriously. We spent like so when we played the fest, we played day 1, and then we still stayed and watched a lot of bands and like hung out at the fest, but you know, the fest wasn't all day and there was so much time to go explore. And so my girlfriend was with, and she has friends in Germany. So she like came, stayed with them, and then hopped in the Sprinter and drove with us to Copenhagen, which was awesome. But then, yeah, we had like 4 days in Copenhagen to just like bum around and check out whatever we wanted. Like it was amazing. Her and I would just, take public transit, take the bus, take the whatever. And it was so like user friendly. It was so simple, so straightforward. And I'm not good at that sort of a thing. Like I've been like in high school, I went to New York for like a fest, or no, I went to Boston or what, I don't know, whatever. I went to Triple B Fest. I mean, I'm sure you're familiar. And yes. I went to that, and my friend and I, actually Josh in my band, we like tried to navigate the subway system and like panicked, and like it sucked. We missed our flight and we just like called a taxi. But this was like such a different experience. It was so easy and streamlined. And yeah, Copenhagen rocks.
Sick. It's so
sick.
It's great. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about Copenhagen. I feel like I talk about Copenhagen on like every 3rd episode of the podcast. I just like talking with people that have like been there and experienced it, because it's like,
it's so cool.
It's a life-changing place. I feel like it.
Yeah, really, I'm gonna remember the memories I made there forever. Like it was amazing. Yeah.
The Little Mermaid, like no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Like we went and saw like the medical museum. We went to this gorgeous like graveyard that had Soren Kierkegaard's grave. My girlfriend found that and like surprised me because I love the existentialists. So so cool to go see where one is buried. And yeah, and then right across the street we had like some of the best coffee I've had in my life. I can't remember what it was, but it was very third wave, very like.
It wasn't Coffee Collective, was it?
It might have been. Actually, that sounds familiar. If it wasn't that, I know for sure we did have that one of the days.
It's legendary. Yeah. I went to 3 Coffee Collective locations while I was there, and it was every one of them. Such nice people. They want to talk to you about coffee once you express like interest. And
yeah. Which that's cool. That's like what it's all about.
And y'all played in Christiania? Is that where the fest is?
No, I think the fest was it's like a few blocks from the Steelhouse hostel that like all the bands were staying at. And that was an awesome experience too. Cool ass, clean, great hostel. But
it's that one that's like the front of it. The front of it is like it's like a recessed. Yes.
Yeah. And then it's this big brick, like kind of industrial. And then there's like a little courtyard with like a bar and then an outdoor stage. And yeah, it was so cool.
I can't remember I can't even pronounce it because it's in Danish, but like, I know. It's like on the north side of the city, kind of. I think.
Yeah. And there's so many cool things near it. Like you can just walk to like the most amazing Thai restaurant or like whatever. Like it's fucked up. It's like all right there. Yeah.
There's a bar like around the corner from there called Escobar. Like, yeah. And, but it's it's like the metal hardcore themed like bar. So we like went in there and I have like a photo of each table is painted with like a legendary album artwork or like band logo. Cool. And so there's like Madball, Biohazard. Like I was sitting on at a table and it was just like a giant Madball. Like,
well, you're just in the New York hardcore section.
I mean, that's my favorite section to be in, I feel like. So
hey, shit's good. Yeah.
It's great.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many like good hidden things, but I feel like, when you go to places like that where like there is an underground, but it's kind of protected, you really have to like know like people. Like you need to know like who do I ask to find like the real spots? Because most of it's like go down the shopping street or like go to the castle. It's like, okay, yeah, that's cool to do in one day, but like
right. And like, yeah, we did those things too, but want to see the other stuff. Like we went to Extremely Rotten Records. That was awesome. So cool to be in that space because it's just so legendary. And like Winter Gong is just like a legendary band and all of us really like that band. So cool to just like see the guy and buy like some shirts and records from him. It's just tight.
Yeah. So that's enough about Copenhagen.
We could really just
we will talk about it for an hour.
We would.
Are you guys the only death metal band from North Dakota?
No, so actually there's another band called Mall that's really great. It's like, and they started like very soon after us too. And some of the members have like been around in the scene forever. Like Garrett, the vocalist, is like been in the local like metal hardcore scene like since when I first entered the scene. Like he was in bands, you know. And so Mall is really sick. And there's more of a scene in town that's a little more like insular. Like there's not a whole lot of bands that tour that come out of Fargo, but like as far as the local scene goes, like it's cool and it's thriving. And lately there's been a lot more like younger cool bands popping up that have been really cool to see. Yeah.
So there is like a scene though, like people are doing shit.
Yeah. Like when I first started going to shows when I was like 13, there was like a really prominent kind of like punk hardcore scene in Fargo. And we used to have this legendary little creepy venue called the New Direction. Nah, it wasn't creepy, but it was a basement,
Yeah.
it's a charming sort of creepy.
Like a
Yeah, like
DIY
there's been
style
some,
space.
yeah, it's sick. Like there were some crazy shows there. Like my band at the time like opened for Title Fight down there. And like we've lots of like Midwest hardcore groups would come through, and it was thriving for a while until, all ages spaces just, they have they just don't last because they can't, because they're not about making money. So
Right.
they just get pushed out. And that's what happened.
Yep.
They kind of got pushed out by like a really Christian coffee shop around here. So
Shout
I'm
them
still
out.
jaded.
Shout
I'm
them
still
out.
jaded about that. All right. It's called 20 Below. I don't
Dox
fuck with
them
them
right now. Just dox
Bow.
them.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they didn't mean to do what they did, but whatever. I don't care.
This is my thing, is because I'm coming from the South. It's very, very Christian presence, like clearly. And like usually if there was a church that had people from the scene that went there, usually we would work it out with the church to have shows. So like for a while, I worked at a church.
Which is cool.
Yes. I worked at a church for a bit, doing sound and things like that. And like was able to work it out where I would rent the space to a promoter who would put on shows that like I knew really personally. We had been in bands together before. And so like we were able to like bring a lot of really great shows for a certain amount of time, like while we were kind of in that position.
Yeah.
If the church wants to really have an impact, like they say they do in a community, and they're going to set up a business, like you gotta give back. You gotta do something. Like you can't just set up a coffee shop for like your church. And then like you're making money, obviously, because it's coffee.
Right.
You're not doing anything to like help push. Like you could create such a safe space. And I mean, safe, like a physically safe space for like people to come and see shows, especially like kids that can't drink or anything, like you can't get into a bar.
Right.
Like they're going to drink anyway if they don't have a space to go. So, create a good environment. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
It's kind of hypocritical for like a church to come in, push out like something that's really good for the community and then not like replace that.
Yeah. Fair. Agreed. And like we've been fortunate that there have been other spaces for that in town. Like, and that's a problem in every scene, like creating an all ages space that has lasting power, that like doesn't just get destroyed or bought out or whatever. Like there was a Red Raven Espresso Parlor was like this coffee shop that before the New Direction was in that basement space, the Red Raven was in there. And then they moved like a few blocks away and then the New Direction was there. But the Red Raven continued on for a long while. And it was like, like a free all ages space. Like it wasn't like a third wave coffee shop, it was like more diner style, like chill, laid back, but they do like poetry night, comedy night, hardcore metal gigs, like a lot of cool stuff came through there, and a lot of respect to the people who were putting that on. Some of them good friends of mine, and that space is still in the Fargo-Moorhead area. And there's a newer space that someone from Red Raven started called Parachigo. So shout out Anjali. Parachigo is very dope. Art space collective, whatever. So Fargo, there's some stuff. There's some cool stuff. Yeah.
It just takes like that close knit community to like have like one or two people, really push it and make
give
that
a
available.
Shit.
Yeah. Because where I'm from is very small as well. It's like 150,000 people, I guess. So
okay, word. Yeah, that's pretty comparable.
Yeah, it's everybody in the scene knows each other. Everybody's always trying to like, if they get an in somewhere, then they're gonna like try to put shows on. Like if it's a record store that's cool. Opened up, or like if it's like a coffee shop or like a bar or church community center, like there's always a space. So I find that in smaller cities especially, it's easier than it has been in Montreal, which is like 2 to 3 million people, and we can't get an all ages venue going to save our lives.
Right. and that's, yeah, it's like, well, it's a difficult thing to do money wise, and you want to have it maybe in like a downtown area that's like
Right.
accessible to all walks of life. Then getting that to work for everyone and being able to pay the bills, because that's all you can hope for with an all ages venue is just like break even.
Keep it open.
Maybe. Yeah. Which that's a real struggle.
Yeah. So you guys come from the hardcore scene?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't, and this is like I'm not dissing or anything. It's a very different style of death metal that Phobophilic plays than what I see a lot of people in the hardcore adjacents doing.
Yeah.
It's very much more like, when I hear it, it's very like Dying Fetus, Cryptopsy, like a lot more technical, especially your playing style. I feel like gives me like almost like a Gene Hoglan vibe, and even like
sick. Love him.
Maybe not as crazy double bass, but like Flo Mornier,
right.
like from Cryptopsy, one of my favorite drummers. Like,
yeah, he's a beast.
I hear a lot of that. Where does that? I guess you guys were just playing in metal at the same time as like, or was it like this magical combination where? I don't know. Like, I find those riffs very difficult to write if you're not a giant metalhead.
Sure.
So
yeah, well, I would say mostly the hardcore thing. I mean, I still have a lot of love and respect for hardcore. I don't mean to knock it in any ways, but when we were a hardcore band, so Josh, Christian, and I in Phobophilic, we all have been playing together for like 14 years, I think. Like we had a band, and it shape shifted a couple times. Like it was called What's Right, and then it was called Lost Cause, and we were like this straight edge. Like it started kind of like straight edge youth crew. It evolved into like hardcore. Like we were never like happy to just stay still. We wanted to just like keep changing, and eventually it just got to a point where Lost Cause was like this very metallic hardcore band. And at the time, like late middle high school, we were all getting really into death metal. And I was really, really into Death in particular, that band. And then through Death, I found the band Cynic. And so like Sean Reinert's like my favorite drummer.
Yeah.
And his work on the Human album is like some of the most inspirational stuff to me. Like Holy Grail, that and like Cynic Focus are like Holy Grail of drumming for me. And so that was very inspiring. And eventually we were kind of like, existing in this hardcore world, it's not quite, we kind of just started playing hardcore because it was what the scene was. It was what our friends were playing. We joined other bands and it's what they'd want to play. So I kind of became this like a hardcore drummer where really I was like, it wasn't quite where I wanted to be playing. And then when that band ended, shortly after, Aaron and I were like, let's start a fucking death metal band. Like this is where all our interests lie. Let's work on that. And then that kind of gestated for a little bit, and it started a little rough, but eventually we really found our groove, and like the songs Josh would write, just like really, we tried to all like piece things together, like, get in a room and jam, or like piece stuff together, everybody, whatever. But eventually it worked well that Josh would just like really spearhead, and then we'd build a song there. And yeah, I feel like I'm very thankful for our like hardcore background though, because it's given us like the sensibilities of like the DIY and the like, well, we need someone to do this. Why doesn't one of us just figure out how to do it? Like, like Josh learned a bunch of like business stuff with bands and like doing the merch and like doing it effectively. Christian learned like how to record and bought a bunch of recording equipment. Like we all just kind of, I don't know. I feel like maybe like we'll go out on tour and it's like just us four, we're not bringing a merch person. We're not bringing someone, and, hopefully eventually the team will grow, but like where we're at right now, I'm just thankful for the experiences I had that made us just kind of have the drive that maybe some other bands don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean was the other drummer I couldn't think of at the time. But yes,
that's my shit. I
yeah.
love him.
But yeah, I do see that. I see that a lot with a lot of bands, not even just death metal, but like all bands that kind of come out of that hardcore scene, especially that have been in hardcore for a very long time, is like, we're just gonna fucking do it. Like, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah. Like, there's no other way. Like,
no,
let's get it done.
it's either that or you fucking work super hard to get on a label and then you don't own any of your shit. And
Right. Or then, yeah, you don't realize that, like, what exactly it means to be on a label. And then you're like, well, wait, isn't everything should be different now, right? Like, where's the money? Like, well, that's not really, you got to get out there and tour. That's like pretty much the only way to make money as a band. I don't know, unless you've got just like a crazy merch spread and fan base that wants to buy everything you ever do, which I don't know. We've got some like really great fans that have like supported us through some stupid shit and helped a lot, but like you can't just exist like online. You're just not going, because there's just such an oversaturation of bands. Like anybody can just like make a band, put stuff online and sell a t-shirt online. Like people want to go to a show. People want to get in a room with you. People want to come up to you at the bar and talk to you. And that's like the best part of going to a show. And that's like a part that I hope I never take for granted. Like I love when people are like, hey, I just saw you play. Like that was cool. Let's bullshit about drums for like an hour. I love that shit. It's awesome.
Yeah. I think that a lot of us that had played shows before the pandemic and were like really about it, for like 2 years, we didn't do shit. And so now it's like, we got to do any show. So I will play it. I will play any show. Like I'll play anywhere, anytime. So yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying. Like, I don't know about you, but it was like very miserable because I'm an extrovert. And so
yeah,
we're just watching old videos of shows on Hate5six,
right,
reminiscing about the glory days.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's like such a cool thing about coming from hardcore. Like I never thought I'd play LDB Fest. I never thought I'd get to be in a Hate5six video. And now it's just like, oh, wait, we make this death metal band and now we like did those things. That's so cool. Like there's people moshing to the melodic guitar solo section. All right. Awesome.
The two-stepping cool. At LDB killed me, man.
Seriously. Like people moshing during like a blast section. Just like, you guys are sick. I love
it. Listen, you can take the hardcore kid out of you can take the kid out of the hardcore show, but you can't take the hardcore show out of the kid. Is that how you would say it? Yeah.
I think that's a great way to say it. Yeah. It was so weird when things,
just not playing. Happen again. Yeah.
Weird.
But it was a very weird time. But it seems like everybody during the pandemic started some kind of weird, obscure, different style of band. Like a million death metal bands came out, and it was like all people that had been playing straight edge youth crew music. So
right, it's so funny to see. Yeah, and I think I think it's funny. It surprises people when I'm like, yeah, I played in like a straight edge hardcore band as a kid. Like, yeah, I love that shit. It's cool, but I just got bored of it, I guess. Like, not the music. I think it's sick and like has its place, but as a drummer, like I wanted to do different things, and I couldn't think of how to get outside of the box without totally ruining the style. Like, how do I stretch what I play, but still like serve the song? Because that's like the most important part of being a musician or whatever to me, is like good song. I don't care if I'm like the fastest or whatever, the best. I just want to write good songs.
Yeah.
And I want to like feel proud of them and like have fun playing them. That's like another of the biggest things, is like I I'm having a good time whenever I'm drumming. Like I love drumming, and getting to play fun things makes it really fun for me. So yeah, the weirder it gets, like the fucking better. I love it.
Do you push yourself to write things that like you can't necessarily play?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's like the Phobophilic motto. Like when we wrote, every time we write something, it's like grueling. Like Josh will send me these riffs and like I'll be like, how the fuck did you even play this? And then he'll be like, well, I can't really play it yet, but I'm but I'm working on it. And then I'll be forced to play something to suit it. So like the just crazy drum sections that really I can like play them on their own, but in the context of the song, maybe like it just we do it because we have to, you know, like you put that down or you like write the song like that and you have to be able to play it in a 30-40 minute chunk of music and nail it. So yeah, I think that's a really I think that's a really good way to get better fast too, is like playing outside of your ability and just take it slow. Like we used to rehearse the songs and just play them really slow.
Right.
And then get it to the tempo we wanted eventually, you know? And then play it live and play it way too fast.
Yeah, it's always way too fast live. It always just it speeds
Can't
up
help
at
it.
least 10 BPM.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, it's too fun. Yeah.
it's the adrenaline is like you gotta
Yeah,
get it.
I'm scared up here. I wanna play hard. I wanna be good, but I'm scared. So it has to be
play
fast.
hard and I need it to be done quick. So I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and just play faster. I had a music teacher in high school. He's a fucking genius, amazing jazz musician. And he used to say, slow makes fast, fast makes a mess. So
Yeah, that's great. Shout out him.
When it comes to practicing, which I was a shithead teenager and didn't listen to anything he said, but the man was a genius. And so that's like one of those nuggets where as an adult, you're like, oh, fuck, I should have listened to that when I was 17.
Yeah, I feel that a lot.
Yeah.
I definitely, I took drum lessons for like a couple lessons and I eventually I just got upset and like didn't want to keep going because at the time, it's again, like it's the same thing. I was just like a shithead little young teenager who I just wanted to play fast and I wanted him to teach me like, I was like, how do you blast beat really fast? And then he was like, no, we're going to learn this Rush song, which in retrospect, that would be sick. I should have learned the Rush song. Now I can't play that. So I'll work on that maybe. But I wish I would have continued. It would have been good for me. My drumming path has been a very silly, self-taught, terrible technique, making many mistakes journey, but we're getting there. I think that it's going the way it had to go for me to want to learn. And you know what? That's all right.
Have you considered taking lessons to fill in like gaps that you can't teach yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate that I have a really great friend who also is like classically like jazz trained drummer, like went to college, has like a drumming degree and like plays all sorts of stuff, plays in like big jazz combos and like everything in between. And like every once in a while I'll get together with him and be like, hey, help me. Like something I'm playing stupid. My hands hurt. What am I doing? And then he'll help me like fix my technique. And that's really nice. He's a great resource. Shout out Matt Tingham, best drummer in Fargo. Amazing dude.
Yeah, that's like really invaluable. I find is playing with other drummers, especially like, or just musicians in general that are like way better than you.
Yeah.
And it forces you to
really helps.
Yeah. It forces you to have to be like, I don't know, better. Like,
yeah, you have nothing to lose. Like, yeah.
But yeah, I did watch some of your drum cams as well, like some of the cuts and stuff, and it's like technique be looking good though, especially on the blast.
Yes.
The
Thank you.
your match grip is like great, choked up a bit on the stick. Like that's something that I really struggle with. I really like to caveman, like where the butt of the stick is like all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is bad. Like I know it's bad, but
I'm a lot the same, just because the world we come from, like it was about play fast but play hard, and like I'm always trying to hit that rim, hit the fucking rim shot, and
just rim it.
Yeah, the learning how to like play a little more fluid, lighter with some nuance, like it's gone a long way. I really like that, but I can't help but sometimes be like, oh, I'm playing too soft. I need to lean into it more. But thank you. It's definitely something I've worked a lot on, and I'm glad you saw more recent videos and not me trying to blast like 10 years ago. So those are rough.
Yeah, this was like this was Decibel. So I mean that's probably most recent, I guess, big fest.
Yeah.
Well, no, because well maybe anyway. It's recent. It's from a few months ago. And I did notice on Enveloping Absurdity that I don't know how to ask this in like a way that also doesn't sound like a diss. I feel like I'm like backhand. I'm European comments or compliments, but like
I won't take it that way.
The drum sound on the album is very different from what a modern metal, especially drum mix, is.
Cool.
But I understand that now after watching you play, that it's because the dynamics are not squashed so that you can hear those nuances like in the old Dying Fetus albums where you have a lot of like the natural drums come through because of those like on Human, like the Death albums and shit, where it's like fucking it really comes through. Like he's finessing the snare, he's doing a lot of like interesting ride and hi-hat splitting patterns, like it makes so much sense now because I'm watching a video on 856 where you're fucking blasting the shit out of it, like, but the way that you blast is correct. It's just that they have a gate set so high that it's only picking up 3 out of the 20 snare hits. So I'm like, this is why the album is mixed that way, is because they don't want to squash the dynamics so that you can hear the musicality of the drums. So
and that's like, appreciate that. And like, that's like very important to me. I want drums to sound like drums. Like I hate the very overproduced modern drum sound. I understand to an extent when triggers become necessary, but I'm still too stubborn about it, and I will not be getting into that anytime soon. And that Enveloping Absurdity, like Josh and I just got in a room and we tracked drums, like no click. Like we played the songs and we just tracked the drums that way. And so everything is just like live. It's not like, I mean, obviously I cut in certain places. There's some songs that I did one take, but they weren't like, I'm not playing to a click. I'm not sampling out the kit. Like the sounds are like what I played in the room that day. And I listen back and I'll hear the areas where I wish I would have played a little better, or I'll hear the little nuance of like, oh, that's not like a perfectly timed whatever. But I love that. That's like that's why like the old Cryptopsy records rock, is because he's blasting like a freak and he's not playing perfectly, like, because he shouldn't be, because he's a human being and he's playing at insane speeds. And when you see drummers play at insane speeds, but they're not like into it and they're just like whatever, it's fucking boring. And I don't like that style of drumming, the super fast, super just like no heart. I don't know. I just I saw you guys play in Montreal with that Terror, Frozen Soul, Black Dahlia. Cool, that's what it was. It was that big fucking monster of a tour. Yeah. Oh, was that the show where
Despised Icon played?
Yes. Oh, that was cool.
You want to talk about Like I didn't know that robots had feelings until I saw him play drums.
Yeah, he's a maniac.
He's
It was so
crazy.
fun to get to see that because I like really fucked with Despised Icon like in high school, and then it was just like a fun full circle moment to be like, oh shit, I get to play with Despised Icon, and yeah, it was fun.
That's like not a thing that a lot of people get to say nowadays. Oh shit!
Yeah,
I'm playing a show in 2023 with Despised Icon.
right. Yeah, that was a highlight. That
Yeah.
what is God, what's it called? MTELUS or
It used to be Metropolis, but MTELUS, yeah.
okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's a crazy venue. There's like a secret pathway under it that Sam, who he was playing for Fuming Mouth, their bass player at the time, he was just like running around and he like found us and was like, dude, let's go. I found this secret like cavern pathway that goes under the stage. And so we just somehow he got like the door code to go in this place. And then we're just following him under this like employee only area. It was so fun. It's just such a silly time.
Did y'all get to go to Fufun after the show?
So that not after that we didn't go there that time, but this time last time through Montreal we played there with Jarhead Fertilizer, and I'm forgetting the local band's name, but yeah, it was the leg of the tour where it was Backslider, us, Jarhead, and that was a really fun show. That venue's really cool.
I didn't even know a local band played with y'all.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the name. Yeah, I don't know.
That's so weird. I don't know who would have played that. Yeah, I couldn't make that show, but I totally forgot that y'all were on that tour.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was great. Those dudes are amazing. Like instant lifelong friends. Like I love them.
What other band are they in? Because I know, is it Full of Hell that they're members
Yep.
of? Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yeah. So Dave, the drummer, is in Full of Hell, and then Sam plays bass in Full of Hell. He plays guitar in Jarhead, and then Brandon, who plays guitar in Jarhead, he used to play bass in Full of Hell. And they're all like, yeah, they're this friend group that it's the same guys, and
yeah,
they're so sick. Yeah, they're all sick.
That's cool. I have one last drum question. What is your desert island piece of gear if you had to play, like you could only bring one thing with you?
Whoa.
To play a show, essentially. And it can't be like my cymbals. Like it can be like it's one thing.
One thing. I mean, that's tough.
There is a correct answer.
I guess sticks.
No,
I don't know. I get sticks.
Yeah.
Well, the snare. I mean, one thing.
I think there's like 2 to 3 like good correct answers, because there's like 2 to 3 things that I think dictate the character of a drummer's sound.
Well, I'm thinking that I could like build a kit with the wood on the island and build some like really janky hardware and like a seat. The thing that would be tough was like the hi-hat. I guess I'd want some hi-hats. I can make sticks,
like with a stand, with like a stand, like you.
I'll make a opening closing mechanism out of the wood and grass on the island.
All right, let's say that it's like a concert. They have full backline and everything, but like you can only bring like one thing. So like if it's like just one piece of gear, and you don't have to worry about flight cost or anything, but like you have everything, but you can only take one thing.
I can only bring one thing and not cymbals.
Sticks don't. Well, yeah, you can bring like a cymbal.
Oh, okay. I'd pick the hi-hats then.
Really?
I think hi-hats that's like my favorite place on the drum kit. And I think it's so underutilized. Yeah, I mean, it's like a snare. I can make the snare work. I'll tweak it.
Just gotta
And
tune it
like
up, right?
pedals would be tough. Maybe I would say pedals. Pedals or hi-hat, but I'm gonna stick with hi-hat. I don't know.
That's not what I would
Yep.
expect. But yeah, that's a great answer.
Thank you. What
Just
would you do?
I would say it's either the ride or the snare.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. Fair.
Not all snares
I
are
do.
equal.
Yeah. That is so true. I do really love the ride cymbal I'm playing. It will be tough to swap that out. I don't know. I played some bad hi-hats. I've had bad hi-hat cymbals and like it sucks. Yeah.
It does suck. It sucks to just play on bad cymbals in general.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true. Yeah. My dad, I had like a family friend who was like, why do you spend so much money on cymbals? Like, why don't you like, I could get a cymbal for like $50. It's the same thing. It sounds the same. And I'm like, that's where you're wrong. If it sounds the same to you, then cool, good for you. But it does not sound the same.
No. Like, did you explain that there's cymbals that are made out of like not B20 bronze and
Right.
there are cymbals?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're not going to have a good time with, yeah, just some like entry level cymbal pack like Meinl H8 or whatever compared to their like Byzance. Like
The MCS
they're
fucking
horrible. I've had those cymbals
yeah.
because I know you sometimes you have to on a budget, but never again.
So
Yeah.
you're a Meinl person? You're not
I
a
really like Meinl. I don't know. I would have said if you would have asked me a couple years ago, I would have said I'm like a Meinl or die. But now I'm like, there's some Zildjian cymbals I really like. Really like the K series. Really like the Sweets. They're amazing. Super
the Sweets are great.
versatile. Very musical and enduring. The Meinls, I really love Meinl. The thin crashes are like the most beautiful crash ever, but I just break them too much. I've had to mix it up.
Yeah.
And I've kind of got Frankenstein monster cymbals right now of like, there's a while where I was just Meinl, but now it's like Sabian Ride, Meinl Crash, Zildjian Crash, two different Meinl hi-hats. Like my hi-hats are like, my bottom hat is like a super dry hand hammered. And then the top hat is like a thin, just like Byzance series.
That's crazy.
And the only reason I did that is because I broke the top hat of the really dry ones. I liked those, but then I had another set of hats where I broke the bottom of it. So
How?
I don't know. Has that ever happened? Yeah, it was shocking.
I've had the same set of hi-hats since I was 16 and I'm 30 years old. And to
I don't
put it
know.
in perspective,
Maybe
Aaron Gillespie was like my favorite drummer of all time. So it's
Oh
not like
yeah,
I'm
yeah. You're
it's not
not
like
taking
I'm
it easy.
no, it's not like I'm
Yeah,
hitting softly. So
swinging on them.
I don't know how you broke hi-hats. That's crazy.
I don't know either.
Monster.
I'm hitting them wrong. I don't
You're a
know. Hitting
beast.
them
I don't
wrong.
know. A lot more heavy-handed than me, obviously. I'm not hitting hard enough.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I understand the breaking. Like, I hate cymbals so much. Like, I love them, but I hate them.
Yeah, they're
So
great. They're the best part of the kit.
Yeah, I bought a set of some like used, which you shouldn't buy used cymbals. So don't follow my example. Anyone who's looking for cymbals, buying used cymbals is like I only bought them because I needed them for jamming. But
Fair.
it's like the Sabian metal crashes.
Okay. Yeah,
They
yeah.
are
Like super thick.
So thick. I hate how they sound more than anything. Like I really don't like them at all.
Yeah, I feel it.
But I found a 20 and a 19 and I bought both for like under $400, which was pretty good.
Fair. Yeah.
And they match my ride because I use a metal ride, which is a good cymbal. So
yeah.
But yeah, I hate those cymbals, but I'll never break them. So I have jamming
it's
cymbals
nice to have.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little practice set. Yeah. I feel that. I had for a while like the 18-inch mega bell ride, and it was fun. Like it's the loudest bell ever, but I couldn't get enough like musicality out of it, and like crashing on it, I was like,
Eesh.
it hurts me. But now I'm playing, I think it's Sabian like HHX or something. I don't know, 21-inch like raw bell, but it's great.
It sounds good.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. The studio we played at, so Adam Tucker had one at the studio, and I had a ride with me. I forget what it was. It was just like maybe it was like a Zildjian, whatever. I tested out the ride he had, and I was like, yeah, this is the ride that's going on the album. And then after we finished the album, I just like immediately found one online and just bought it. I also think I bought it used, but like ride cymbal, I mean, I'm never crashing on it. Like the way I'm playing the ride, I'm only riding on it. Like in the past, I would still break ride cymbals because I'm crashing a lot more in like hardcore music, but I have 3 crashes. Like I'm never going to crash on the ride. So,
Same.
But also, one last thing. The secret to buying cymbals. Okay, I hope nobody who works at Musician's Friend or Sweetwater is listening right now, but for my fellow broke drummers, always buy the warranty. Like buy it and then keep track of when it's over, and whether you broke the cymbal or not, call it in. And then
you get
the money back. I think now they just credit you to the site, but like I have a revolving door of just like, I buy it on Musician's Friends. I get the warranty for like $50-$60. I break it within 2 years because I'm going to, and then I'll just call it in. They send a check or they just credit you, buy another cymbal, get the warranty again. Like you're out just like $50 instead of 400.
$400 for, yeah.
That's the move.
That is the move. Always get the warranty. I know a dude that basically within 6 months got like $800 worth, or no, probably more, like $2,000 worth of Zildjian K rides.
Dude, sick.
Because he kept fucking breaking them, and the warranty just kept replacing it.
Yeah, I bought like the Mike Johnston Meinl set, and it was like $1,300. And then I broke one of the cymbals, and I called it in to be like, hey, I have the warranty for this. I broke the crash. Like, could I get the money from the crash? And then they were like, well, since you bought it in as the pack, all we can do is just reimburse you the full amount. I was like, okay, cool. So I broke one cymbal, and then I got $1,300 back. So I just bought more fucking cymbals. It's awesome.
This is a life hack, people. We have
like
the ultimate hack.
It changed my life.
You essentially got a full set of cymbals for free for $50 actually.
Yes. Yeah. Or like, I don't know. It was maybe like $100, but
still, come on,
buy the warranty. You will break them.
Crazy. That's a crazy hack.
Well, I'm glad I could at least leave people with something.
You're a saint. What does Phobophilic have going on for 2024? We're in like the first 2 weeks, so what can you reveal?
Well, still deciding that. I mean, there will be some touring, but not as much as like this last year. We toured like more than I've toured the rest of my life combined, like in this last year. So that was dope. But we're slowing down. We're entering into more of like a writing stage, working on cooking something. There will be times where we'll emerge from our slumber for very dope tours. And like that Austin Death Fest, very excited about playing with the two Mold homies and just so many $20 spin bands. It's going to be amazing. Very excited for that. And Maul is playing that too, our Fargo boys. So that's super exciting. We'll do a tour before that. That will get announced when it gets announced. Can't reveal too much, but things are cooking. Things are coming.
Damn. Got the cards close to the chest on
That's right.
On this episode.
Sorry, y'all.
Can't know anything.
Now I'm practicing a lot. I'm just trying to get good. we're all in a perpetual state of trying to get good.
Respect. Much respect to that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the secret sauce. People were like, what's
Absolutely.
the secret sauce? Fucking practice. Just get better.
True.
Jam.
And there's the boring ways to do that, they really help. Play your rudiments, play to a click, whatever. And then there's the fun stuff you can do. Like lately I've been loving just like setting up a click and then just like I'm pretending that I'm playing in like a jazz combo and I have my like 8 bars to fill. And now everyone's looking at me. What do I do? You know, just play something fun, fuck around with the time, mess up, keep going. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun and very freeing for me on the kit. So that's my current vibe.
Sick. I'm glad to know that there's more metal hardcore drummers that also fuck with jazz.
Oh yeah.
So
hell yeah,
that makes
man.
me very, very happy.
Same. Glad to meet another of my kind. Let's go.
Yeah. The drummer that's playing, so I do vocals in a band, like a hardcore band.
Cool.
Kind of like Capital H style. The drummer that's playing with us right now, he like recently went to New York and we were like, oh, why are you going to New York? He's like, I'm going to see Nate Smith. I was like,
sick. All right.
What, dude? Like, and he's like, yeah, he's like one of my favorite drummers. I was like, hell yes. I'm so happy that, that I have found you. Cause,
that's dope.
People who only listen to heavy music, like that's fine if that's your vibe, but you will only get so far as a musician. You gotta expand.
Yeah.
Listen to Anderson .Paak play drums. That's a really interesting style of drumming. Like listen to other things. So
if you're just bringing into the music what's already there, it's like, what are you really doing? Not that everything, don't get me wrong, like I fuck with a very basic meat and potatoes style of metal, but like it's not really what I personally want to do, and that's fine. Like but I do think, death metal in particular, like it's not a super old thing. It hasn't been around for a long time. There's a lot of room to grow, and there's a lot of boundaries to push, and somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. So that's where Phobophilic steps in and says, we're here. We're going to flip the table. We're going to flip the script on the death metal scene. But yeah, it's super happy to hear y'all are going to be writing some new stuff. We'll be watching out for some announcements.
Sick. Hell yeah.
Well, Vincent, or Vinny, that feels wrong to call you Vincent. I'm so sorry.
Well, now I think, Vinny is good.
We're on Vinny terms.
We've gotten to Vinny terms. Yep.
Thanks so much for hanging out. This has been a lot of fun. A lot of drum nerdery, which is always great.
My favorite. Yeah. Likewise. Thanks for having me on, Grayson.
I've got one last question before we go. What is your favorite city for Beans and Breakdowns?
Oh, favorite city. Like, for Beans and Breakdowns, do you mean my favorite city for the people listening, or my favorite city that incorporates Beans and Breakdowns?
Like great coffee, great, just,
music,
gnarly music.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to say maybe Denver. Like, I know that's maybe an overrated take, but like every time we go there, the shows are always dope. There's way too many good bands out of there to even start counting. And the coffee scene's tight too. Like, always had good coffee there. Yeah, I think I'd say Denver.
Word. Mile High City. Stand up.
That's right.
Well, Vinny, again, thanks so much for hanging out. This has been so much fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. Take care, man.
Take it easy. Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Vinny for hanging out on the podcast. Be sure to check out Enveloping Absurdity, the latest LP from Phobophilic, available on all listening platforms. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.